นี้เขาจะเข้าพิธีไหว้ครูเขาจะไม่เขาจะถือมารีตายไงมารีเราต้องจัดการก็ให้มารีแปล
The rhythm of dancing is a pulse of humans. It's my heartbeat and passion. I will tell a story of a pole dancer, a story about the realization of body and inner growth.
แต่ละคนไปเลยปุ๊บแล้วก็มา
Pole dancing has been a transformative journey for me. The experience defines my relationship with movement, self-worth, and perseverance. In fact, my journey started with synchronized swimming when I was in kindergarten. For 5 years, I had been training for 5 days a week. However, when I moved to Japan with my family in 2014, to a city where synchronized swimming was barely known, my progress was interrupted. And a year later when I came back, I was not flexible enough to keep up with the training and it was truly miserable for me. So I decided to quit. Not until grade 4 was I captured by fencing and decided to become a fencing athlete. Dance was my constant passion. Ballet wrapped me in its elegant arms for a decade, while I dipped my toes into the expressive realm of contemporary dance. But as much as I love dancing, the dance floor often felt like a battlefield to me, where my confidence took a beating. In China, ballet teacher had a fixation on a perfect body shape, and it insisted that perfection only hinged on the certain physical attribute. And let me tell you, I didn't fit their cookie-cutter mold. I wasn't blessed with those long limbs, that graceful neck, and that wafer theme frame that they deemed essential. And their words, dripping with criticism, chipped away at my self-esteem. Suddenly, my head felt too big, my feet far from dainty, and I definitely did not fit their idea of being enough. Their constant shaming language gnawed at me, leaving me questioning my own worth. The gym became a place I hated. It amplified my insecurities. The tears and running drills often tired me after 5 minutes on the treadmill. An elliptical trainer was another nightmare. Looking at myself in the mirror and inevitably picking others with better body shapes felt to me the most scary part of my gym experience. In a gym where mirrors are everywhere, stopping, judging, and comparing myself with others seemed to be an impossible task. When other people look at me, even though they might be looking at me nicely and showing their friendliness with a smile, I felt deeply, deeply insecure and never knew how to respond. I became paranoid and always felt like people were just constantly judging my body. It was then that pole dancing emerged as my sanctuary. It's a blend of sport and artistry that felt like a homecoming. In pole dancing, judgments about body shape dissolved. And pole dancing to me isn't just a workout. It is a medium of expression, a canvas where strength and creativity meld effortlessly. So the first question is, why did you start doing pole dance, and what is your motivation for doing pole dance?
So I started it when I was, I guess, 19 years old or 18. It was my first year at university. Yeah, and because I was doing sports acrobatics for 10 years back in my hometown, and I was doing it like seriously, going to competitions, training 2 to 3 hours a day. So I graduated school, I went to the university, and I was like, okay, I'm done with sport, I'm gonna be an English teacher, like learn English, move somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like living a crazy student lifestyle, drinking, partying, going crazy. And as a result, I gained so much weight and I was out of shape. And I felt so weak, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I want to go back to like being strong, feeling active. And so it's first year at university. I was like, all right, I need to go back to sport, and I started going to the gym. But back then, I didn't like gym so much, and I was looking for a workout workout, which can help me to get stronger and move weight. And pole dance back then was gaining popularity in Russia, and I was like, oh, I just saw one video on YouTube and a picture of the girl doing it, and I was like, I want to try. And I bought a membership to like a local studio. I started doing that, and I fell in love, and I was training like crazy, getting bruises all over me. It was like I was always tired, but this, sport woman background woke up inside of me, and I was like, okay, I want to do it. And I lost a lot of weight. I got stronger. I was obsessed with that. So that's the reason why I started doing pole.
I started pole dance when I was around 22 years old. So that was, maybe 22 or 23. So nearly 7-8 years ago. The reason being, like before pole dance, I didn't do any exercise. I didn't look after myself. I used to drink a lot of alcohol. I partied a lot. I smoked a lot. So I was with my boyfriend at the time since 17 years old. And we split up when I was 22, 23. And I said to my friend, I need to do something totally different. I need to, I've closed this big chapter in my life. I want to open a new one. And my friend said, okay, cool, let's go and pole dance. So I was like, okay, cool. And so we started together. She's like my very best friend from school. She still pole dances. I obviously still pole dance. And so that's how I started pole dance.
My pole dancing journey started in 2022 at a studio in Phuket. The distance between my house and the studios was formidable. Every week my mom has to drive for 40 minutes from our house to get to the studio. The appeal of this newly found heaven draws me in every week. It was here that I found a new understanding, an appreciation of my body's strength and resilience and skills that I had learned and developed during my early training years, but had been overlooked in the world of ballet. Pole dancing isn't just a series of movements. It's a narrative of self-discovery, and it's an art form that allows me to reclaim my body, liberating it from confines of judgment and negativity. Each spin, each grasp of the pole is a testament to my journey, a journey of embracing perfection, celebrating strength, and rediscovering beauty in movement and self-assurance. For a community, it's all about support and empowerment. For pole dancers, it's all about body positivity and breaking down barriers. It doesn't matter where you're from and who you are. Everyone is welcome.
Exotic pole dance is a great tool to become more confident. To let your emotions out and show, let your inner goddess out, as we say.
If you're anyone, I think that pole dance can be very powerful in the same way that dancing can, and it's really helps us to build our confidence, and it helps us to feel confident and happy with who you are and who you want to be in that class is absolutely perfect and the best version of you.